Greetings, family. Today I want to talk to you about something I've recently seen on social media. So, at a McDonald's, somewhere, a black female employee was accosted by a white male customer. Now, the big issue that arises here is when you come to understand that the female employee was surrounded by black men who seemed to do the very least that they could possibly do to protect her. So, why did I want to talk about this? Well, I wanted to talk about this because the situation seemed to incite a lot of anger and a lot of disappointment on the behalf of black men. And I fully understand why, because there is no situation or circumstance where a black woman should be attacked in the presence of a black man at all and she not be protected, especially not by another man of another group. And many people have taken issue with the fact that people have given this young man the excuse that maybe he was trying to hold on to the job that he had. And while I would not agree with his stance in reference to that and to this event, I do want to bring something to your attention. This is what interest compounded looks like when it comes to socializing black men. Now, what do I mean when I say that? In the world of finance, compounding interest is a means by which whatever money that you have saved or loaned, you get a return on that equivalent to a smaller portion of that number. And that number grows over time, the smaller number. Because it's like, if I have $1 and then they give me an interest of 12 cents, which is incredibly generous, right? The first month it's 12. It's the first month, or at the end of the first month, you now have $1.12. See, now the next month, when you accrue interest, Lord knows that's just not how it works. But assuming you accrue interest that next month at the same rate, you would not get 12 cents the next time, because the total amount that you have is now $1.12. So you would get what, 13.1 cent or something like that. See, now while the increase might seem irrelevant initially, when it's compounded over time, it becomes greater. So eventually that $1.12 over a reasonable period of time could be anywhere between $100,000 maybe more, maybe less, who knows. But I think you can kind of begin to understand how $1 and compound interest can become $100,000. So is it the same thing when you talk about compound interest on the socialization of black men. We are all fully aware that society gives black men no quarter, no peace, no relaxation, no rest. We are constantly inundated with propaganda that is set to effeminize the black man, to throw the black community into chaos. And that's what you saw happen here in this particular case with these actors. Not actors in the sense that they were faking, but actors on this stage. You have the white man who represents the ultimate power structure. And between them, you have the black woman who has been given charge over her black man. And then, as society predicted, behind the black woman is the black man. Now, why does he feel comfortable being back there? Why was she so comfortable fighting the battle? And why was the white man so comfortable going after this sister in the presence of these brothers? It is because that was the intended effect. The goal has always been to emasculate the black man. Now, the desire to protect is a very masculine trait. And in many instances, black men do exercise that trait. However, socialization has taught all black men, most black men, and if we have to knock it down another tier, many black men, that they are to assume the lowest position of authority possible. So what does this mean? What am I saying? Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying this to say this is all you can really hope for in the way that we operate as a community, or lack thereof, today. You are talking about a group of people that was once Black Panthers and Nation of Islam. They're still around. I'm sure the Black Panthers are still around, but you're talking about men who at one point were militant, and the government feared that. The government feared that. Society has always feared strong, militant black men, because his is not a house that is easy to conquer. When you have society that tells the black man from the time he's a boy to the time he becomes an adult that he is less than a man, that he is dominated, that he is subjugated, that he ain't this or he ain't that. When this is all he hears, growing up. If this is something that he hears from his mother, hopefully most mothers don't say that, but we know many of them probably do. You just like your daddy, you ain't gonna be this. When he goes to school and he's trying to get some understanding of himself, and the teachers tell him that maybe he should take some remedial courses. Maybe he's not intelligent enough to keep up with the other students. When the music tells him that all he knows is, money and hoes, but the music never tells him anything about empowerment or standing up against the system. When he goes out into the workforce and his employer, who more than likely is either a white man or a black woman, and they exercise their authority over him liberally. And then when he ends up in a situation where he has started a family, or at least something that would represent a family, a baby mama and a child, I don't know. The cycle begins again, especially if in all this time he's had the masculinity, the dominant traits of masculinity beaten and socialized out of him. Because at this point, he knows that the woman, all she has to do is call the police, and they're going to come take this man's freedom away. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Very few questions asked, if any. See, that is the way it was set up. This should only be shocking to those individuals, to those people who are under this idea, this misunderstanding, I guess, that we are the community that we once were. We are no longer the community that pushes our boys to be Panthers. We're no longer the community that tells our young boys it's honorable to be a police officer, or it's honorable to be in the military. We have relegated, not me, I don't relegate nobody to any lower position if I can help it, but black men have been relegated to the lowest position on the social totem pole, so to speak. And then everyone's confused when the man who has had his masculinity beat out of him or socialized out of him doesn't behave like what we believe a man should behave like. So that begs the question, what do we believe a man should behave like? What do we want men to behave like? And what are we willing to give up, to let go, and to sacrifice to get that man to behave that way? I'm of the mind that the relationship between the black man and the black woman being in tatters, having destroyed the black family, and as a result eroded the black community, is the reason we come upon these situations, or we have these going ons around us as frequently as they occur. Because a black man with respect in his home and respect in his community is bound by duty to honor and protect that community, because he is afraid to lose that respect. He wants to keep that respect. He admires that respect, that honor that he gets from his family, from his community. He is attached to his community. You break down the black family, the woman doesn't honor him. Break down the community, no one honors the family. Throw the man out of the house, or he leaves, I don't know. Anything that he felt that might have been honor or duty as it pertains to the community has evaporated into thin air. Gone. These brothers, because it wasn't just him, he's just the one we saw on camera. These brothers, and I'm sure there were more people in the store. I'm sure it wasn't just this one white man in the store. There was somebody recording. I don't know if it was on camera or what, but there was it got recorded from that side angle somehow. I don't know what kind of cameras they have like that in McDonald's, but that, it almost stands to reason that the altercation may have started ahead of time, and then maybe somebody started recording. Don't give me the line. I didn't see the whole entire video clearly, but these brothers around her were detached from her, were detached from the identity that she represents. And while neither of them can escape it fully, that doesn't mean that they reserve or cherish the duty of the commitment to that identity. And that is the compound interest of socialization, especially on black men. If you beat on the black man's ego long enough, if you beat on his masculinity long enough, if you beat on his will long enough, it will retreat into places where it may be nearly impossible to discover once again. Nearly, but not completely. I'm of the mind that we as a people can heal. Black men, black women, we have to set aside our misunderstandings, and we have to find each other. We have to find healing in the arms of one another. When the black family is repaired and the black community is repaired, and we get back to that place of morality and standard and structure and order, where the king has a kingdom to protect, and his knights are willing to do the same, then and only then will we stop these things from happening to us. Then and only then should anybody be confused or at a loss as to how this happened. Because it happened because we are not where we should be. But I'm hoping that we will once again be back at that place, and prayerfully at a higher place. With that being said, over you, black gods and goddesses, I speak peace over your mind and the knowledge that you are in control of your lives. I speak prosperity over you and life to those that you love, to have the abundance that is long overdue. I speak to the power within you to come forth and manifest the vision that you have for yourselves and for those to whom you are attached. May blessings, mercy, and favor seek you out and find you wherever you may go. May we heal in love. Black man, black woman, black family, black community, black hope. With love, I'm Midas Black.